Tulsa. I forgot how good that anime was. Is One Punch Man, kick ass. These, I think it's good. Like the artwork is like second to none, and I like the idea that like it explores what it would be like to just be completely overpowered. You're done with the game, and then you go back into the game and you play it, and you're just megally overpowered. So there's no challenge in it whatsoever. Saitama goes through that, which I think is pretty cool. Like, just I don't see a lot of animes that have tackled that idea before. Of like, yeah, being the strongest is cool and everything, but then all of the challenge would go out of fighting. So Saitama is just like searching for somebody that he can beat. That there's someone he can fight that can last more than one hit. I think that's funny. So. I thought it was a like cool idea to run off of, because a lot of like what you see now is what you'd see in Solo Leveling or Sword Art Online or something like that, where it just your power, where the main character's power is just immediately like just overpowered like crazy, and so you end up with like just there's no real character balance. Like, you know, at no point in time do you feel as though these characters are actually under any real bit of threat or danger, and by doing that you create characters that you can't really bond with. Solo leveling's really guilty of that. Like, you get to know a character, and then within like an episode or two they'll be completely obsolete because of how strong Jinwoo is. And yeah, Jinwoo is like probably like the top like aura farmer in anime right now, but like, or Solo Leveling, you can't tell me it's a good anime. 6 coin GD, welcome. That sucks, Alex. Hi, Skybox. Yeah, I was just talking about Solo Leveling and how like it's good. It's a good manhwa. Like, what up, Andrew? The artwork is second to none. Like, you can't. That's undeniable. But you know, when you have a character that's just so like insanely overpowered, like Jinwoo is, like, you can't, like, every single enemy needs to be like 10 times stronger than the next enemy, and you know that like anybody else in the plot line like doesn't really matter because Jinwoo is so fucking overpowered. Like I said, artwork's fantastic, story needs work. You know, I want to go back and watch more Chainsaw Man, because I fell asleep once while I was watching it, so like it got like 4 episodes further, so I gotta go back, you know. I mean, that would be one way to win. But Chainsaw Man was really good. I loved, like, when I started watching it, I thought it was absolutely kick-ass. And so probably gonna go back and check that out and at least finish season 1, where it goes from there. I've heard it's like a gut punch, though. I've heard it's like emotionally a big gut punch. I have seen Berserk. It's actually one of my favorite animes. It's one of those ones where you can take a character like Jinwoo, who ends up leaving everyone behind, and still has an amazing story that goes with it. Like, with what happens with like Farnese and Casca. Like, what ends up happening with their characters when it comes to with what happens with Guts and stuff like that. I haven't seen the ending yet, though. Like, I want to get the entire manga, because the manga tells so much more than the show does. Even the game that was on the Dreamcast kind of fills in a bit of holes in Berserk. I'd like to get the Mark of Sacrifice tattooed like right here, like, and then I'm getting flowers tattooed over here. Bye, Skybox. Bye. But yeah, Berserk's like probably one of the best ones out there. It's like up there with Ghost in the Shell, Akira, and you know, even Standalone Complex was really good. I like Ergo Proxy. That one was one of my favorites. But it's one of those like not extremely well known animes, but I fucking loved it. Oh, what are some other good ones? Hell yeah. Thank you for subscribing, Skybox. It means a lot. It helps very much so towards the music career. I should get the deluxe edition hard sets, but they'll be so hard to carry around. But they would be worth having. The last manga I really like read into was Chobits. That's how long ago that was. And that anime that he has my favorite voice actor in it, Crispin Freeman. Loved him. And he was recently in Horizon Zero Dawn. I thought that was amazing. I saw him on there, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's Crispin! I know that voice anywhere." Like, he played Amon in Witch Hunter Robin, and I think everyone will know him as Alucard from Hellsing. That's like that's the big one that everybody knows him from. But I knew him before that, you know. He's also Alex Wright from Last Exile. And like Last Exile is like the first full DVD set that I got. And it's so good. And it uses terms that like you don't hear a lot, like Zugzwang, which is a Zugzwang, and it's a chess term that it translates to forced move, and it basically makes it so that hi Mauro, it makes it so that like where you put your opponent in a position where no matter what move they're going to make, they're going to lose. And that's a Zugzwang. It's a chess term. I've wanted to make a project called that for a while, but everyone would pronounce it Zugzwang, and I don't feel like dealing with that. So yeah. I'll stick with the fun project with the Box Ghost, and the serious one with Anadonia. Yeah. I have to write down like all the gear that I'm looking at. I have to go on like GuitarCenter.com because there's nowhere else to buy like music equipment nowadays that like has like a decent that's decent and doesn't cost like a shed load. So I gotta go to GuitarCenter.com, find what I want to get, write down the cost, and then tally up all of what it'll cost to get what I'm looking for, and then use that to restart the music career, get everything back on rolling again. Like, because a lot of the music that I make requires a computer. I perform using MIDI controllers so that I can control like either patches or samples or synth lines that I've made before, and I can launch them at certain bits, and by being able to launch them I can play with them and or sing with them. And you know, in the absence of a band, it gives you the ability to like play every part of the band on your own and still have a really good show come out at the end. Plus it gives you like the freedom of I don't have Bob or Visheen. But yeah, like the computer gives it the ability to really get to like VSTs that you wouldn't have access to, or I mean you could, but it would cost thousands of dollars to get the the right types of synthesizers in order to get the sounds you're looking for. When you could use a VST, get all of those sounds, and just use a MIDI controller and spend like literally a quarter of the cost. What up, HCS? Yeah, I was gonna play the songs that I've got because I found the lyrics to the songs that I've got that like don't require any piano or anything with them. It's just the drum machine. But I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, that explains it. Oh, but yeah, I've got like I know I loved I am. Imagination or my imagination, and there's like one other one that I didn't play yesterday. So but yeah, like so those ones are just literally like playing the drum machine, making sure that it has like a good sound, and making sure that the voices can be heard over it correctly. Like I said, I should probably try to like actually oh, I love graphic novels too. Absolutely. Like, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Junji Ito. You know, big Junji Ito fan. I know that probably counts still as manga, but I do like graphic novels as well. Yes, very much so. No, I'm not from Alabama. Thank you, Guy Trippin'. I like manga as well. Although, like, to find one that, like, really, like, you know, that catches me, that's harder nowadays. There's just so many manga. Like, it's almost like an oversaturation in a sense that, like, let's face it, like, pretty much every isekai is the same fucking thing. Like, you know, it's like, just make a goddamn fantasy, like, anime already, you know? Like, because that's what isekai is. It's just fantasy with the main dude being from our world and then going over to their world. And, unoriginal feeling at this point. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's been done to death. Like, you know, and there are ones that are good, like Konosuba, really good. But that's because it takes these tropes and premises and it makes fun of them. Like, and that's what makes them hilarious. Gotanabe renditions of Lovecraft's work. Very cool manga. I'd check it out by all means, because H.P. Lovecraft is an amazing writer. Horrible human being. Amazing writer, though. Oh, yeah, Eminence in Shadow. Yeah. Eminence in Shadow, I think, is pretty cool. I need to get into it more. It, like, the main bad guy reminds me of Lelouch a lot. But, like, look at isekais and tell me that every main character doesn't look exactly the fucking same. Like, come on, dude. Like, and my bigger gripe is like with isekais is that a lot of the times it's just an excuse for a harem. You know, it has questionable views on slavery, and always weirdness with age and shit. But like, I get why a lot of anime takes place in high school. It's because the animators and stuff, you know, Japanese high schools are very, very, very strict, extremely strict, and you know, all of it can lead up to this test that you have to take, and this test can like determine like the rest of your natural fucking life, kind of. Like, you know, you'll have like, you know, if you don't pass the test, you got to wait till next year to do it. Like, so it's extremely stressful. So I would imagine, so a lot of these stories that you see that take place in high school and are like high school kids, it's the animators like putting into like a story that that they wish they could have done and stuff like that. Like, Incal or Metabarons graphic novels. I have not. When you going into the reserves? Never. There's a Suicide Squad isekai. I've seen, yeah. That was the dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen. Like, oh my god. I'm like, and what's crazy too is that like DC has really, really, really good animated movies. Like DC's animated movies are better than their live action movies. BT Dubs, I think Ben Affleck played a really good Bruce Wayne, and I don't give a shit what anybody got to say about it. Robert Pattinson plays a good Batman Bruce Wayne too. You know, but don't forget my man Val Kilmer. He did a kick-ass job. You know, so many Batmans. But I think they all did well in their own way. What else? I got back into recently watching Full Metal Panic, and that one was cool. I didn't know they remade that from like the early 2000s. Because that came out when I was in high school, so I didn't know they remade that. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta see this again. I've heard a lot of stuff about Hazbin Hotel, so I'd like to check it out, but I don't have the network that it's on. Without the Incal, there's no such thing as Star Wars. The Metabarons is son of the most insane megastructure. That's cool. I'll argue though, Incal, that's not where Star Wars came from. Star Wars came from the Forbidden Castle and the works by Takeshi. Christ, what's his full name? Yamamoto, the old Yamamoto films. But it came from like the Hidden Castle and things like that. I mean, even the old West movies are based on those old Japanese films. Like, yeah, I hear that about Hazbin Hotel, and I've seen people in like a shed load of costumes about Hazbin Hotel, and I'm like, it must be good. I just don't have the network it's on. Honestly, yeah, a lot of the remakes aren't so bad. Like, you know, like Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust was like this whole new take on Vampire Hunter D from the one that was from '83, and like, it was really good. Like, it's just that, yeah, see, I don't have Amazon Prime. How would a girl get you to notice them? Like, how would a girl get me to notice them? You gotta be pretty straight with me. I'm autistic, so usually flirting I just take as women being polite. So, you know, I never assume it's flirting. Yeah, I don't have Amazon Prime, but I've heard a lot of cool stuff about it. I'll look it up on YouTube, you know, like, or if all else fails, I'll just pirate it. Yo ho ho and a bit of rum. No. Aye, that's Dancing Pete. He dances for nickels. Yeah, what up? Any music tonight? Ben, good to have you back. Not tonight. But I do have the songs ready for tomorrow after my walk, because they're the ones that don't have any piano on them. I mean, I think one does, but like the rest are all just drum machine and vocals. So I've got to like find a way to get the camera of the phone. This is why I should get like one of those like microphones that, like, you know, plugs into the bottom of your camera. That way you can just like put it up and then record off of that, you know. How do I get a girl who likes video games and I don't? Let's see. I'd say with meeting women, man. Well, you're meeting girls then. Let's see. Okay. Just treat them like dudes. And I don't mean that in a way, like, the way that you gotta look at that is that, like, the way that you would chat it up with, like, one of your dude friends, just do that the same way with them. Like, it's a weird concept, but women are just humans, too. Like, so, I mean, just like, if she's not into games, but you are into games, that doesn't mean that immediately you don't, okay, whatever, same thing applies. Just because you like video games and she doesn't mean you don't have something else that might be in common. That, talk to her, sit down, have a conversation, get to know one another. Who knows? You might end up liking one of her things. She might end up liking video gaming. You never know. You got to take the chance. Like, you always got to be able to look back and say, I took the chance, I tried. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed. But, let's see. I want to get into voice acting really bad, but anything that's online that says, like, hey, want to get into voice acting? Want to do this thing, that thing, the other thing, whatnot, as far as voice acting goes, for, like, what is it? Like, doing voiceovers for commercials and doing, character voices for shows or anything like that. I really want to get into that, but a lot of the things are like, take this course. And it's like, okay, here we go. Like, so it's like, you need to find a real company that'll, like, help you out and, have a good, what's the word? Have a good, like, portfolio. Have a good portfolio of, like, the type of vocals that you can do on, like, commercials or narration or things like that. And what's cool is that you can go online, you can find like little just snippets that people have made of, like, music, little blurbs, and you can find little scripts that you can do. Can I do a Darth Vader impression? Not well, but I'll give it a shot. Okay, it's like, if you only knew your true destiny, you do not know the power of the dark side. That's it. I can do, yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing, is making, commercials and using them as, samples to use on the portfolio. I can't sound like Tyler. Like, Tyler's voice is Tyler's. I can do it. I can do the Emperor very well. Rise, young Skywalker. Know your destiny. Unlimited power. Have I ever told you of the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? And then you've got, like, Darth Maul. Sam Witwer does a bunch of voices, and he's just fucking amazing. But he'll be like, Kenobi. Hiding here out in the desert where I can find you the last of the Jedi. That kind of shit. Thank you. I mean, for my original character, it's just like my voice, but I kind of put, like, a little, like, Clint Eastwood kind of sound to it. Like, because Soma's a great Jedi. So Soma's been serious his entire life, and he hasn't really had a lot of social structure. So the things that he says are always straight to the point, and sometimes can be a little off-putting and curt. It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power. Don't try it. You are my brother, Anakin. You were supposed to you were the chosen one. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. You are my brother, Anakin. I loved you. Yeah, that's Ewan McGregor's one, you know. But then you got Alec Guinness's one, you know, it's like oh, hello there, little friend. Don't be afraid. This was your father's lightsaber. It's a more dignified weapon than a blaster. Like, yeah, they're two different ones. So if I was gonna play Obi-Wan, I'd combine the two. Like, you know, I've got a bad feeling about this. Combined with, like, Alec Guinness's slightly more nasally voice. Like, and then you put them both together and you get my Obi-Wan Kenobi. Where it's a younger Obi-Wan Kenobi, but he's there. Master Qui-Gon, I have a bad feeling about this. Like, you see, that's mine, you know. You know, then you got the Joker, you know. I can't do the I am your father. I can't do that. I see that. The very important thing is you have nothing to threaten me with. Nothing to do with all your precious strength. I got lucky with that one because my voice sounds a lot like Heath Ledger's. And he got that voice from Tom Waits. I can do Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2, you know, like, I don't know, Dutch, that's some bad business. Howdy, partner. No, wait a minute. Howdy, partner. There it is. Yeah, we were gonna head into Saint Denis with all that civilization, you know. I got the T-B, sister. I called it while I was beating a man to death for a few dollars. Yeah, I loved Arthur. I still do. And then you got, let's see, like Dutch. You know, it's like, you know, Arthur, I need you to have some goddamn faith. Everyone around me is turning on me. I see every one of you. That's, you know, Dutch. Serpentius. Pentius? I'll make sure to do that one when I find it out. Let's see what other ones. I can do Patrick Warburton. You know, Peter, I'm not retarded, I'm handicapped. You know, like Joe from Family Guy, you know. I was out on the patrol, I got into a fight with the Grinch, and, you know, I broke my spine. Yeah, this Patrick Warburton. You know, Peter, I don't know about that. You know, you're starting to piss me off! Like, that's Patrick Warburton. You know, like, let's see, you know, I like Hedonism Bot from Futurama, because, that's like it's a version of the guy that played Nero back in the day, where he's like, I apologize for nothing, oh, yeah, like that kind of thing. Yeah, well, I'm in my car, okay, I do what I can. Alright. Here, is a little more light? No, it doesn't do shit. Alright. And I have like the thing on the on here that's supposed to brighten it up a bit. Yeah. And it's not the first time somebody said I look like a serial killer. How many have you met that you can just pick them out of a lineup? Big Jake Powers. Oh boy. I don't know. I'm cutting my hair later in the week. Maybe that'll make people feel better. I'm not homeless. Big back, big body, big whatever the crap. No, I'm not homeless. I just don't feel like, I don't know. I like being out in the car. It's like solitude, you know? Face to yourself. I was charging my phone. Now I'm charging my vape pen. I think it's okay by now. Derp, derp, derp. Like, that's the most common troll thing I see on here often, though, is they're like, yeah, this kid's homeless. Like, it's so interesting because, like, people get this big, like, odd sense of entitlement because they either have an apartment or something that they can call a roof. I didn't see your question about fat girls. What did you want to know about fat girls? I'll answer the question. Usually the one I get is like, Hitler, put my hair down. 9999. I get a lot of that. but I'm cutting my hair later in the week. I'm doing the faux hawk again, and then I'm gonna bleach it blonde, and then I'm gonna dye it. Damn. All right, take it easy, man. Be safe. But yeah, I'm going back to kind of like the faux hawk look. But then I'm gonna dye my hair. Well, then I gotta bleach my hair, and then I gotta wash it out, and I gotta bleach it again, and I gotta wash it out, and then I can dye it. We have to move tomorrow. You guys have to move tomorrow? Dude, that's a lot of work in a short amount of time. Yeah, have a good one, dude. Wow. I'm sorry, moving in that short amount of time. That's quick. But be safe. That's the most important part. Be safe. Be well. Take care of yourself. Don't overexert yourself moving things. People do that too often. But right, okay, yeah, I'm dyeing my hair to the smoke blue because like my hair's a little thin in some spots, and my hairline's receding a little bit, and I'm thinking of getting a hair transplant, here and here, and like maybe, I don't know. My hair seems a little thin on top too, but I'm mad insecure. So like, what? Answer what? I haven't seen any question. Like, what are you talking about? Take a chance with the fatty. Is that what you were saying? I've been with big girls. I prefer petite girls. Very much so. Like, if you're gonna give me the choice nowadays, like back in the day I didn't care so much, but nowadays I'm gonna go with a petite girl or a skinny girl with a nice small waist and a flat tummy. That's what I'm gonna go for. Like nice thin legs. Like I got a thing for girls' thighs, so yeah. But it's not that I don't like big girls. Girls that are have a little meat on their bones, nothing wrong with that at all. But like if we're talking fat girls, no. I don't know what you look like, so couldn't tell you. I honestly wouldn't take my opinion into too much consideration. I just have preferences, and I happen to like skinny girls. That's nothing wrong with girls with meat on their bones. Like a little thick, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But like, if you're fat, I'm not into that. Like I'm just not into it. And like attraction is such a huge deal when it comes to relationships, and anyone that says it doesn't, you're lying to yourself. Personality is what keeps you there, but attraction is like the first thing that's going to get your attention, obviously. But like I said, personality is like the big one. Because, like, you can look amazing, but if you have the personality of a wet trash bag, then, like, you're not a 10 anymore. That sucked. I miss having my jam space in the basement. That was nice. Because then I could just, like, jam whatever hour of the night. And then, like, but also, you know, the gear. The gear. You gotta get your hands on, like, the right equipment. And so, to do that. Hopefully after that, 2 projects that I'm working on will actually start to pick up some steam and maybe bring in some, uh, some revenue, like, so that I can put, you know, half of it back into the music project so I can make the project better, and the other half to my mom to help her out. God, I hate my hair right now. But no. What time is it? There's always like a time where like all of a sudden like the or just the line goes completely dead, like one person watching, 2 people watching. I'd rather like 10, 15 real people watching though than, or 2 people watching even that were real, rather than like some of these guys that got like literally 70% of their views are bots. It's like, oh, that's how you do it. Okay. It's that fake it till you make it shit. A lot of bands do that. Like, they make themselves seem a lot bigger than they actually are, so that by the time they release something, everybody's like, who are these guys? It's a tale as old as time. I'm 38. Yeah. The not a sexy young man anymore. Nope. And what sucks is that like I spend so much time in my 20s not paying attention to the right things or putting my focus in the right area. But 4 years clean now, 38, turning 39 this month, and but things are on an upswing. Sure, why not? But currently working on like 3 books. I got 2 bands that I'm working, well, 2 projects that I'm working on, but it's 2 different music types altogether. So I have to record those 2 types. I don't know if I'm recorded on the phone in the meantime and just record it track by track and then edit it afterwards. Or if I should just wait till I get the computer and then like just do everything that way. Not completely sure. Like probably gonna go with the computer, but like in order to play out, I can use the drum machine and the piano. That'll work just fine in the meantime. You can always tell somebody that doesn't have a fucking clue about drugs when they say some dumb shit like, dude, the drugs fried your brain. The population of the stream goes down. It's just how it is. It's once, like, you know, pay a certain amount, get a certain amount of bots that like look like profiles, and like a lot of them don't make any sense. Like these people have like 100,000 viewers at one time, but then you go to their page and they only have 4,000 followers, and it's just like, dude, the math isn't mathing. Like the numbers don't make sense. Like you got 4,000 followers, how you gonna have 100,000 people following you? Like it's just But some of these streamers have really worked hard as far as like getting the amount of streamers that they do. But a lot of them, I feel like, have sacrificed their shame and their pride in doing so. Not all of them, just some of them. But like, they figured out like the key was like back in like people like Aiden Ross, like, he's got to deal with Kick and shit, and he's got all this stuff, and the kid literally has millions and millions of dollars. I wouldn't do that, Bird. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But, crap. I got thrown off my train of thought. Fuck. Whatever. Working on those projects should be fun. Plus, having a project that relies so hard on delay and synthesizers and different types of arpeggios and things like that, then it's going to require a computer in order to keep everything in the same same clock, keep everything on the same timing. Purple things. Gross. So much shit to deal with. Fucking one of my friends dealing with bullshit there. Just unnecessarily amounts of stress that like I don't feel like dealing with. Like I miss having a big group of friends, but at the same time, I don't know how well I can deal with people that well anymore. Although I would make it, I'd give it, a shot, obviously, because otherwise you end up by yourself. Keep the language clean. Whatever. What about the ex? My friend who is my ex? Yeah. No, I fucked up. I got drunk and I got like fucking pissed off at her about some shit, and fucking I just was a total dick. And I apologized, and she wanted her space, so I said okay. That's completely fair. So just didn't call her and text her or anything like that, and she sent me a couple things on Instagram. Didn't really talk to her after that. But like last time I talked to her, she's saying that like I haven't given her enough space. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you even more space then. Like whatever, but that's reasonable. And she says I wouldn't respect her new relationship. And there's probably a pretty good amount of truth to that. But it is what it is. Like I'm waiting on the fucking end of the month, and it's gonna be an annoying ass month because I'm waiting for money to come in, and then until that money comes in, I can't get my teeth. And once I get my teeth, everything kind of keeps going in a positive direction. And then I can get my music equipment, get that all stuff, get all that squared away. there's just, I don't know, a lot of time in between. And I'm impatient, of course. You know, I've been waiting for like a year for my teeth, so now it's like, son of a bitch. Like, it's like, yeah, it's only one more month, but it's like, fucking hell, that's annoying. Like, in the digital age, you know, we want it now. Like, this very second, I just ordered it. It should be here by now. No. What is one to do, though? What can one do? These are better when I fucking can perform on here. Eventually, I run out of things to talk about. Like, I run out of topics. Like, and, like, you know, I can only dig so far into my head before I just start repeating myself. Or repeating stories that I've told time and time again. Don't need to be doing that. So, I'm going to take off. I'm going to continue smoking this. I'm going to watch some stuff on YouTube. And seclude myself in the car. Because I'm a fucking recluse. It is what it is. Alright. Take it easy, guys. Be safe. Be well. It's always the most important thing. Bye-bye.